Sony, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. And I wanted to make a quick video because even though I know this is kind of the BuzzFeed of the photography world, what Bokeh and Digital Rev do, it brings up a good point on Sony throwing out a lot of new stuff way too quick, kind of cannibalizing some of the stuff that they're doing without it letting really hitting and sitting on the market and really keeping their consumers happy. It almost feels like Sony has become the Apple of the photography industry, and it wasn't that way probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And really for the past 2 years, Sony's been really taking over the market with their mirrorless line of cameras, 1-inch sensors, full frames, all that kind of stuff. And it just seems like now they're just throwing out stuff to do it. And once again, of course this isn't official, but I've seen this on a couple websites, and Bokeh, they actually do have a good write-up on this as well. But there is rumors, obviously, and it really wasn't set last year, that Sony's going to launch the A7 Mark III. The A7 Mark II isn't that old, and it has still pretty much one of the best video specs you can have, and the RX100 Mark V, which the only thing I think they can improve is the 4K video, because you only did 3 minutes in 4K in that, and the camera overheated a lot. But overall, I just think it's important to, I'll link this below so you can read up on this, but I just think it's a big precedent to point out that Sony does need to kind of calm down with all their stuff. They're making a ton of innovation. I think they lead the video industry, and a ton of people that I know and in the industry have switched from Canon. If you really did video, you were a Canon shooter, and have moved well into the Sony line of cameras. And it really is until recently they started coming out with lenses. Their G line of lenses, 24-70, all that kind of stuff. And now it just seems like, if this is true, it's apparently around October, they're apparently, going to announce something, pretty much like an Apple does every September. I think it's every September. Sony is going to try and launch more cameras, and the problem is some of these cameras aren't even like a year old, or they're just over a year old, and they're doing that, and Nikon doesn't even do that much. Like the D750, it came out in 2014 or something like that, and it's 2016 right now, and it's been sitting there, and it's been in the market. A lot of people are using it, and you don't feel like you have buyer's remorse. A lot of stuff with Sony feels like you're gonna have buyer's remorse, meaning you just bought this new full frame camera, or you just bought this new Sony a6000, and then all of a sudden the a6300 comes out missing a few features, and you're like, oh, what the hell? Or you buy the RX100 Mark IV, and you're like, okay, this is great, and less than a year later, it's like, oh, this $1,000, it's now worth $800 now, it's worth $700, now we have something a little bit better that has better 4K. Like, I just don't get the mindset behind that. So I guess just this whole thing is, Sony, pipe it down a little bit. It's okay. You're doing very well compared to where you used to 3 to 5 years ago. You're doing fine. You're already innovating. Wait a couple years between your cameras. Wait, 1-2 years. The only competition you kind of had but doesn't really keep up is the Nikon D500 that just came out. You really have to kind of wait to see what the Canon 5D Mark IV has entail, as apparently that's been also in the public now as well. So my message, Sony, chill the hell out. We get it. You're trying to really keep the industry. You already kind of have it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is Sony just going above and beyond way too much, or are they doing everything they should and pretty much just releasing something every single year, just taking over, another camera, and people who buy them are just like, oh my God, what the hell? I can't even keep this. Let me know your thoughts down below.